Troy from Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Today what we're looking at is a GE wall oven. Right now we are having no heat or not enough heat. Customer is having to constantly increase or turn the bake back on so that it warms up. And what we're going to take a look at, the first couple things we're going to take a look at is, one, we're going to look inside the oven at the elements, make sure that they look as though they're functioning right. These elements do not appear to have any damage on them. So what we're going to move to from there is, I've already turned the unit on and I know that it will accept a temperature. I'm not going to turn the temperature on yet because I want to test up in the upper left hand corner of this unit. In the back there's a temperature sensor. It's a temperature probe that senses the oven temperature, and I want to pull it out and I want to test it to see what it's reading at room temperature. First thing that you're going to want to do to make sure that you're safe is you're going to want to find and locate the breaker box in the house and turn the power off to the unit. Next thing, to help save yourself a little bit of backache or a little bit of stretching and bending, is on different doors. This model specifically, this door slides off of its hinges. Other doors have safety pins, other doors have spots that you would put a screw or a pin in to hold it in place. But this door is quite simple to take off. You're going to let it get to its resting position. When it's at its resting position, grab the sides of the door, not the handle, grab the sides of the door, and then you're going to lift straight up. The door will slide off for you. Your door hinges, once you lift the door off, your door hinges will be setting out. Just so you don't damage anything or catch yourself at all, I will set them closed so they're resting against the unit. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go make sure the power is turned off to the unit, and I'll be right back. So with this one, it's going to require me checking it a different way. There is no plug that connects it onto here. This one may run completely all the way up to the board. So what I have to do is take the unit, put that back in place, and I'm going to access the inside of the control panel so I can test out that sensor. This specific unit, the way that it's mounted in, to remove the screws all on the top that need to be taken out to remove the control panel, I'm going to have to pull the oven out a few inches just so I can access everything I need to. So typically there's going to be a few screws down each side that you need to back out so you can remove the oven just a little bit to access the screw heads that you need. Piece was just sitting on there anyways. Wasn't even glued on. Guess I didn't have to take a whole lot out anyway. I'm going to take a look at the tech sheet so I can see which pin connections I need to locate on the back of the control board. I'm looking for the oven temperature sensor, and on this specific tech sheet it does show me that at room temperature I'm at about 1100 ohms, and at a clean temperature I'm at about 2650 ohms. So I'm going to locate the proper wires. I'm going to take a test of them to see if the probe is good or not. What I'm doing is setting my meter to my ohm setting, and then I'm going to take each one of my meter leads and I'm going to locate the proper pin connections coming up in the wiring so I can check those for the proper continuity. And we are reading 1100 ohms on the temperature sensor. So the temperature sensor at room setting is reading properly. So from here we're going to take and I'm going to check for continuity or proper continuity between both the bake and the broil element in the unit. So what I'm going to check now is I'm going to check for proper ohm reading and continuity through both the bake and the broil element. According to the schematic, on the back of the control panel we have a BK, which is bake, and we have a BA, well, BA is bake and BR is broil. According to the schematics, one of them goes back to L1, which is documented on the board, and the other one goes to DLB, which is also documented on the board. So I'm going to take and I'm going to disconnect one wire, and then I'm going to check for both proper ohm reading and continuity through those 4 wires. Okay, now you're going to be looking at removing at least one of the wires in the 2-wire circuit. You can pick whichever one you want. Make sure you put it back in the right spot. So I recommend just removing one wire at a time, testing the bake, put it back together, remove one of the broil wires, test, and put it back together. Be careful, the edges inside the unit are not finished, so they are rather sharp. You can catch yourself and cut yourself pretty quickly and pretty easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the orange wire, which the orange wire is one side of the bake element, which goes from there to, according to my schematic, goes back to DLB on the board. And I have 29 ohms. So now I'm going to move on to the broil. And broil is taking me from the BR back to the DLB again. And broil is working as well. In order to get bake inside the oven, you're going to have your control panel turn on. You're going to set a temperature, push bake. The temp sensor is going to sense the temperature inside the oven cavity, which is going to be generated by both the bake and the broil element. The sensor is working, both elements are working. The final part in this series is going to be the control board. So what we're going to work on now is looking at replacing the control board. Now what we're going to do is reverse order, put the unit back together, and then move on to getting the part to finish the repair. Inside the trim properly. You don't want to have any pieces break off as you're putting it back together. So for the repair in which we've done today, or the diagnostic that we've done today, we needed a flashlight, a Phillips screwdriver. You could have used this as a screwdriver for all of it, but I used my drill with the Phillips head tip on it. I did have a sticky screw in the back, So I carry a tack puller to help put back pressure on the screw so that I can get it to catch and pull back out. And I also use my voltage meter so that I can set it to the ohm setting to get the proper reading for both the temperature sensor and the elements. Okay, I need to pull the hinges back out again. And with the hinges back out, on the bottom of your door, you're going to see two slots where the hinges slide into. Again, make sure you hold the side of the door, not the handle, and you're going to set it back onto the glides. And if you do that every once in a while, just pull them back out. Now I'm going to step in front of the camera so I can see both sides here. Once you slide it all the way in, gently close it to make sure that it's dead set all the way so you don't catch anything on the top of your oven. Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.